getting back to the football because live on talkSPORT 2, because live on talkSPORT 2 tonight, Tottenham take on Manchester City. Tottenham Hotspur or Spurs take on Manchester City. As I say, live on talkSPORT 2. What that boils down to, Danny, at the moment is 13 versus 5th. What does a respectable finish to the season look like for both of these, do you think?
Well, I think if City finish after their wobble now, they've kind of just got themselves back to a better level. I think if they finish in Champions League positions, then they can look forward to that next season and maybe FA Cup.
In the FA Cup, yeah.
Maybe. But for Spurs, they've got to win Europa League, otherwise the season's a complete failure.
Precisely. And he always wins a trophy in his second season, as Ange has told us all. Kevin De Bruyne of Manchester City is going to be 34 in June. He's out of contract at the end of the season. He's amassed 745 games for the club and country. But of course, as we know, he's struggled with injury in recent times. On De Bruyne, Guardiola spoke about him in the build-up to this one against Tottenham. What kind of space, what is this space indeed that De Bruyne finds himself in?
I think in that situation he has to decide. That is the most important thing. So he's completely honest with himself and he's going to decide what does he feel, what he can do in the next period of his life. So it's, like I said, in summer 34 is all at the end of the season and he has to decide, like happened with David Silva, for example, and many other players.
He has to decide. So Pep's saying De Bruyne has to decide. What's your take on it, Danny? I mean, is he going to be part of any rebuild at City, do you think, or is he out of there?
I think he'll leave. What a player. He's just been incredible to watch. But the last couple of years have been hard for him because he's missed so much football with injuries. And even watching him now, he hasn't quite got that athleticism and sharpness that he once had. So you would imagine at 34. Also, it is up to him probably. They would give him a contract, but I don't think the contract would be the same as what he's earning. So with his name and his legacy and what he's achieved in the game, and
Is he out of contract?
Yeah, end of the season. So I think he'll end up in Saudi or MLS probably.
Yeah.
It's very insightful from Pep to tell us that it's up to Kevin De Bruyne, because ultimately if he's out of contract, of course it's bleeding all up to Kevin De Bruyne. I don't think City will offer him a new contract.
I think
so it won't be up to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne will be able to choose what he does next.
I think they'll offer him a contract that he can't sign.
You think so?
That he can't sign.
Well, why would they bother? He's out of contract now.
Oh, yeah, he might say, I'm leaving. No, do it right way.
Why would they bother? And they know they've got
to make it De Bruyne's decision, ultimately.
Yeah, but nobody cares anymore. And everyone knows that Man City have got to rebuild.
Yeah, it's true,
And everybody's at a point now where they're going, well, what's happened to Man City? We know there's a rebuild needed. And probably Kevin De Bruyne is at a stage in his career where he's not going to be part of it. So nobody cares. The optics of it mean nothing to nobody.
It's true.
So why would City offer him anything?
Yeah, maybe they won't.
You're not going to say goodbye to all your experienced players, though. In a rebuild, you're going to keep some, you know.
Well, you'll have Rodri. Rodri be back for next season. He'll play. You know, he'll be there. You've still got a lot of the defenders are senior players who've been there a while, so I don't think any of them are out of contract. So you've still got a nice mix.
Yeah,
they're buying younger players. You think Marmoush could play as the 10, where De Bruyne's favourite position? That's role behind Haaland.
And your early impressions of him?
I like him a lot. Foden can play that role. I know he needs to get his levels up, but he can comfortably play that role. So yeah, I think he'll go. It looks like. But what a player! What a player!
Yeah, I always remember you returned from I think it was the World Cup in Russia, raving about him in Belgium, about what they'd done and how they should have gone all the way.
He's the best passer of a ball I've ever seen in the Premier League.
Yeah. Well, he drives it right at you, doesn't he?
Well, I'm just on about, when I say passing, I mean defence, split and passing. Because he can do them all. The soft one, the firm one, high, low, crossing, outside his foot, inside his foot, the drill.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Could you do that when you were in Chelsea's books, as you said earlier on?
Do I need to answer this
This
attempt
is so
at ridicule?
funny. I just love it because Simon's trousers are wringing wet after he spilled coffee over himself. It's Jim White, Simon
That's
Jordan,
not coffee.
Squelchy Jordan and Danny Murphy, and we're live in talkSPORT with Selco. Check out this month's real deals with SelcoBW.com.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.